I'm Sherry. This is Todd.
I'm Todd.
And welcome to tamale making day here at our house. So we're gonna get started by getting the meat cooking because that takes the longest. What do you got here, Todd?
This is the bottom round. We have 5 pounds of beef.
5 pounds of beef. So when I was growing up making tamales, we actually cooked the meat on the stove. And then we migrated to the crock pot, which made things a little easier. And today we're using the Instant Pot because we can cook this meat in about an hour and a half, I think it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook the meat in the Instant Pot, and we have our onion, and we have our garlic, and we have our red chili powder because we're making red chili beef tamales, and a little bit of salt. So as Todd gets
Trimming just a little bit of the fat off, but you want to leave some of the fat also.
You do want to leave some of the fat because that provides the richness in the beef. So
you can make big pieces like this because the Instant Pot, it's going to end up, it'll be shredded when it comes out.
So the chili we're using today is a red chili, and how the chili starts is this is a hatch green chili, and in the summer this green chili is harvested in Hatch, New Mexico, and the chili gets dried so that around Christmas time, like now, these chili pods are dried. And when I was growing up, my mom would throw them in a big pot, and she'd make her own chilies. We'd throw them in a pot and then get them nice and soft, and then put them through a strainer so that we would just get the pulp, and then from there make a red chili. As time has gone on, we use Santa Cruz chili from the Santa Cruz Chile Company. They turn this into a powder, and they also turn it into a paste. So it's really a personal preference on what you want to use. We like to use the powder. It smells so good. It's mild. It brings out all the goodness of the chili. So growing up, we made tamales with the family, and it was an all-day affair. We would get the meat cooking, get the chili cooking, start the masa, invite friends over, and it would pretty much take all day. Sometimes we'd cook the meat the night before. That would be helpful. Cook the meat and the chili the night before so that when everybody comes over, we just make the masa and assemble the tamales.
So again, the recipe for the beef, it's 5 pounds of beef, 1 medium onion diced. We're gonna do 5 cloves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of salt, 8 ounces of the Hatch chili, or the Santa Cruz chili powder. I'm just going to put everything in the Instant Pot.
Yep.
And then we'll get it going.
This recipe will make about 4 dozen 4-ounce tamales. So that's pretty decent, pretty good meal. You know, the tamale tradition is pretty rich. And making tamales is a lot of work, and that's why you want to bring friends and family over to make it a party, right?
When I moved to Tucson in 1995, that's when I started making tamales with Sherry's family, and we did the green corn tamales with the green chili and cheese, which was the Hatch chilies. And about the only thing I remember about that day is Sherry said, on Saturday, we're going to go to my parents and make tamales. And I was like, great. So we showed up at 9 o'clock. Well, first of all, I thought we'd be there for like 3 hours. So we showed up at 9 o'clock. I walked in the door. There's 20 people there. There's 5 bushels of corn and 5 cases of beer.
True story.
And so, I think we ran out of beer before we finished making the tamales. So there probably was a second beer run involved.
So your corn husks are going to come dry, and it's really important that you soak them so that they are pliable and clean. So all you do is put them in a sink with some warm water and let them soak for about 20 minutes. So the next step in making tamales is making the masa.
First of all, what masa is, it is a nixtamalized field corn. The difference between a nixtamalized corn, which is the corn you always use in a tamale or even in corn tortillas, is different than any other corn you're ever going to have. It's the only corn that's actually 100% digestible because of the nixtamalization process.
Completely different than cornmeal.
Now, obviously you can get the Tucson Tamale masa mix. For this one, because it's the Red Chile Beef Tamales, we're actually going to add red chili paste. We only add that for this tamale. We need some fat, so we're using a vegetable oil. And we have 4 cups of chicken stock. And the way you want to do it is you want your liquids to go in first, and then your oil. Then go ahead and start your mixer on a low speed. Put your red chili paste in. This is 2 pounds, and so it's already pre-weighed out for you. And then you're just going to gradually add the masa mix in.
And this process takes time, and you want it to take time, right? Because the other thing that's happening as it's mixing is you're getting air into the masa. So this masa needs to mix, it needs to get air. You just need to be patient and just let it go.
We got it all in there. We're going to add just another cup of water to it. So now that we have everything in there, we're going to let this mix for at least 10 minutes. And you want to go, once it's all fully blended, you want to go ahead and you want to turn it up to about a medium speed. And let that go for 10 minutes.
So the meat has been cooking for an hour and 15 minutes, and we released it, all the steam, and it's ready to go. I put on my trusty apron because this is the splashy part. So we're gonna just move the meat with a slotted spoon. So first of all, can you see how rich and deep that color is? Oh, it's beautiful. Just 2 forks, and we're just gonna shred it. Wow, it is coming up, it's coming apart so easily. After you shred it, you're gonna wanna add some of the juices back in. So that way, as the meat is drying, is cooling, it's gonna absorb all of this juice and the flavor and help infuse it. It's just gonna be delicious. I'd say add between 1 and 2 cups of the juice back in. You want to look for it.
Okay, so
Now the magic begins.
now the magic. You've soaked your corn husks, your hojas, so they're very pliable. They're ready to go. Our masa is finished. It's ready to go. The meat
Has been cooled.
has been done cooking and cooled. It's very important that you have the meat cooled. And then the last thing that we're going to add is a olive. Now, I want to point out a couple things that are very important. Green olives, no pit, and no pimento in them.
So, and the story behind the olive in the Christmas tamale is this represents the Christ child. So that we have tamales at Christmas when the Christ child was born.
And then another very important thing about your corn husks is there's actually 2 sides to the corn husk. There's the inside and the outside. And if you just feel it with your fingers, you can see one side is a little smoother and one side is more ribbed. You want to use the smoother side to put your good stuff in, because if you use the ribbed side,
It'll
it's going to stick to it. You use the smooth side and it comes out beautifully. So the other thing that we want to point out is that you'll see other recipes that say to take a spatula and to smear the masa on.
So this is how I grew up making tamales. You get a spoon, put your masa on, and then you spread it all over. So we're here to give you a tamale hack.
We have ice cream scoops, and we have chosen these because they're going to deliver 2 ounces of masa and 2 ounces of filling. Now, you will also see other recipes where they do not use, or they use a lot more masa than they do filling. We like them half and half. That's the way to go. So when you level this scoop, right, there is your 2 ounces of masa.
Okay, so you're going to put it right in the middle. Then You're gonna put the meat right on top. Then, would you like to do the honors of the olive?
Oh,
Don't forget the
I
olive.
smash first,
Oh,
and then I do the
okay,
olive.
so we have different opinions. So then you're gonna smash it, and then you're gonna seal it. And when you seal it, you're gonna roll it so that the masa goes around the meat. And then from there, you roll it.
And then the
Perfect.
other important thing is, this is the tail. The tail folds. Lay that down, tail down. You do not want the tails up.
I'll give you this.
2 ounces. 2 ounces.
Me. Okay, you like to
Now
smash.
the way I like
first.
to do it
You like to
is I
smash.
smash first,
And you
then I put the olive in, and again, just jiggle it around till you get that nice little seal there, and
Tuck and roll.
tuck and roll. And then again, and where the oha comes right there, that's where you fold the
So
tail.
you're gonna
over.
fold it along the seal.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, when we were making tamales with Sherry's family, parents, everybody had to make their own. And whatever you made, you got to take home. And so what they did to track it is everybody had a glass, and every time you completed a dozen tamales, you would tear off a little piece of the corn husk and you would throw it in there. And then at the end of the day, you'd count your glass to see how many you made. I was always last. Sometimes you get one that's like really gnarly big like this. Easy thing to do, just tear part of it off.
So now it's time to cook the tamales. Yay! So you want to start out with your standard pasta pot and put about 2 inches of water. Really important that if you're cooking tamales all day, that you maintain 2 inches of water, right? So after every tamale pot, you got to make sure your water is hot. See, we're gonna steam it, so it's got the holes in it. And you want to load the tamales with the tail side down, and you want these tamales to stand up. So we're just gonna fill up this pot.
Now we're going to check to see if they're done. Normally it takes on a stovetop like this about 25 to 30 minutes. So we've had these on here now for 28 minutes because you want to make sure that the internal temperature is at least 165 degrees. So I just dropped this in the tamale, and yep, I see they were at 170, 180, so we are done. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this off. I'm going to go ahead and leave it uncovered, turned our stove off, and you want to let them rest for at least 5 minutes.
So the beauty of tamales is it takes a lot of work to make them, but then you can eat them over a long period of time because they freeze so well. So once your tamales are completely cool, you're just going to put them in a Ziploc bag. Make sure you mark them. You're going to want to mark that they're red chili beef tamales. You want to mark the day you made them so that when you go into your freezer, you can know how long they've been there. They probably won't last long. Enjoy. Good job, honey. Here's
Good job.
Here's we get our
Cheers.
beer. So gone are the days when we drank beer all day long making tamales because I'm just a little too old for that.
my favorite part.
Mhm.
Right here.
So let's unwrap some happiness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this looks delicious.
Mm. You smell the chili, the red chili. Incredible.
So we've been making tamales for many years, and it doesn't get old. This is one of my favorite tamales, and when I was growing up, the day after we made tamales, we'd have tamales for breakfast with a fried egg. Oh, so good. So good.
And I know you probably can't see it, but there's my olive. Oh,
That meat is good.
that's a treat.
The
Meat's
masa.
tender.
The meat is very tender.
Mhm.
The masa is light and fluffy.
And even though they're chilies, they're mild, so there's not really any spices. Just a
It's
tad-
flavorful.
Right, it's
I'm
all
gonna-
flavor.
The olive.
Very little, very little heat. So, anyway, cheers to you.
Cheers. So, you can eat these all year long, but they are certainly a Christmas tradition. So, Todd and I want to share a few of our favorite ornaments. This is a little corn angel. And this corn angel was on my family tree for many years. This little baby's probably about 50 years old. And I was very fortunate to bring it into my home. And here she is.
And I got this one actually in New York City, remember?
Yeah.
What was
My
the name of the store?
My 50th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pack of, it's an ornament, it's a tree ornament, but it's sweet corn, 15-cent sweet corn. What was
So
the name of
super
that store?
cute. Like the Christmas store?
Yeah, it was the Christmas store. So, this is my favorite ornament.
And then together, we have another little corn angel.
But
So-
her wings fell off, but she survives.
Corn has been a theme in our lives for sure,
Yeah.
sure, because it's the seed of life for tamales.
Yep.
So we hope you guys really enjoyed making tamales with us today, and we want to wish you and your family a wonderful Christmas. And remember, you don't have to wait till Christmas to make these tamales. You can make them any time of year.
There's a lot of other holidays all throughout the year. They're great at Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter,
Tuesdays,
the first day of the month,
Tamale
the
Tuesdays.
second day of the month, the third day of the month. Every day is a holiday with tamales.
Be well, friends.
Yeah.